Hello all, welcome to another video of Odia Engineer. So this is not a technical session, so I'm just going to talk about a little bit on the new batch which is starting for the HANA Advanced Training. So this is your extremely advanced training where I assume that you understand the HANA basic things. So from there you can learn and upgrade your skill set. So this HANA Advanced Training are divided into multiple parts. So as you can see here, we have SDI, we have hardware validation, then NSC setup, then data provisioning, then SDI setup, performance and monitoring, MDC data management. So there are a lot of concepts which are going to cover here. So this is the details of the sessions. You can see here that session one. So we have total 17 sessions and every sessions have, has a lab access and also the duration. Okay. So session one, we'll talk about a little bit on the advanced HANA architecture. So I'm going to talk about the scale out and the scale up, and we'll be setting up the scale out installations. We'll understand the non-uniform memory access and a little bit on the CPU sizing and memory sizing, all these things. Also next is we are going to talk about the advanced installations, and also here we are going to do the scale out installation. So in this case, we're going to work on node one start by node. We'll also set up the SSL, then we'll configure the tenant database, and we'll do the host failover concepts, then set up the secure setup SSL, and also we'll be considered the XSA installation. Next thing, we'll talk about the user administration. So user administration, if you are working on HANA database, I'm sure you must be familiar, but here we are talking next level. One is LDAP, SAML, Kerberos integration, and also XSA. And we'll also try to use case some of the BTP stuff here. So how you're going to connect with your identity authentication services with your HANA Advanced, or you can say the HANA Access, or maybe the HANA Cockpit. So we'll talk about that. And here we'll talk about the backup strategies. This is for the scale out. So scale out, refresh, scale out, restore recovery. How are you going to do the restore recovery with like different scenarios? We'll talk about that. Here also, I'm going to talk about the backend. We'll be setting up the backend here. We'll also doing the snapshot configurations. We'll doing the encrypted backup. So all this setup will be going here, and these are something that which is really, really important, particularly if your backup is encrypted, how to deal with it, how to encrypt it, and also the backend configuration, backend API setup, all these things we're going to do that. Next session 5, I'll focus more on the restore recovery scenario. So this is again a scale out scenario where you have multiple hosts, like source as 3 hosts, target as 5 hosts. So we'll talk about it and we'll do the restore recovery. Similarly, this is a little bit on the advanced setup, which is in HANA restore recovery in a scale out setup with XSA advanced. Then you can see here we'll talk about the HANA replication in a scale out scenario. And we'll be talking about how we're going to set up and all these things, but this we are going to talk about scale out. And then we'll talk about HSR as system copy method. We'll be having one of the cases where we are going to set it up. So it will be a complete deep dive on if you want to use HSR as a system copy method. Apart from that, we have the tenant administration, isolation. Also, we'll be talking about a little more on the tenant administration side, multi-tenant concept and other things. Session 10 will talk about the partitioning, like in scale out, how you're going to do the partitioning, what's the best method, what's the best possibilities. We'll be doing that, and we will be having the partitioning on the test data. We'll be having a bunch of data and we're going to perform it. Also, we are going to do the table redistribution in the scale out scenario. So you'll be seeing live in the screen how you're going to plan it, how you're going to do that. So same thing you can replicate. Similarly, we'll be talking about the admission control, which is really, really important, and NUMA monitoring, admission control to prevent your out of memory dumps, and how we're going to set up the threshold for the admission control, and how we're going to deep dive. This is a complete advanced training. So you'll be what you see, you are going to get it. Apart from that, it will be a extreme level deep dive so that you can get a complete idea. If you know the HANA basics, which I cover in my HANA administration training, after that you take this training, so you will be mastering HANA for sure. You can handle any issues in scale out, scale up, multi-tenant concepts, and also your workload analysis, NUMA analysis. You can do certainly most of the things. Then we'll talk about the troubleshooting and the root cause analysis. Here it will be quite advanced level. I'll be showing you the high CPU issues. I will be showing you how to fix it. Also, I'll talk about the high memory issues and a lot of areas which we need to deep dive here. And I'll give you the approach how you can understand the logs and how can you upgrade your skills to understand the logs and fix the issues. Then we'll talk about the near zero downtime upgrade. I mean, we'll be performing the HANA revision upgrade without having downtime, of course, using the replication. So how are we going to do the rolling upgrades and scale out? That's pretty much interesting. So you will be getting to see that. Apart from that, in session 14, we'll talk about the smart data integration. So SDI setup is something which is extremely important if you know how the SDI works, particularly for data transfer or data provisioning. So how are you going to install your DP agent? How are you going to enable the data provisioning services? How are you going to add the the connections So those are very important. How to going to set up the adapters based on the database and how you're going to access the data. So all these things we're going to talk about, and it will be a live. We are going to set up everything here. It's the register the HANA, then replicate the flat file, and then we are going to simulate the adapter failure in case of any errors. We are going to fix that. Session number 15, we are going to talk about a native storage extension, cloud option advanced troubleshooting. NSE is the hottest topic in the world at this moment because many people, they are using the NSE concept. So we'll focus on the hot-in-one data, how you're going to set it up, and I'll talk about the sizing, what are the considerations and how you're going to use the queries. And certainly we are going to set up the NSE as well, which will be live definitely in my session. Then the session 16, we'll talk about the SDI setup, which is for, this is for the HANA hardware and cloud management tool. This is your SWCCG test tool. So this is more into the hardware validation. So this will be discussed about in the beginning when we go for the HANA installation and sizing planning. So that I'll discuss. And this is really, really important to do analysis. And we'll be seeing that how you're going to use it effectively. Session number 17 talks about the SDI setup, which is again extremely important thing, that how you're going to understand the design time architecture, runtime objects, and all these things. We're setting up the SDI and we'll be trying to see any errors and also the SDI security aspects. So this completes most of the topics for scale out and the advanced topic. And these topics are well curated. I spent quite a few time to prepare the content. But if you are looking for this training, which is HANA advanced training, ensure that you understand the HANA basics. Otherwise, do not join. It's not to fill my batch. It's all about if you guys are really looking for training and you want to upgrade the skills, provided you have the basic skill of HANA, because I'm not going to touch base the basics again. We'll be going on the advanced level. We'll be only talking about the advanced stuff. So if you're interested, you can come and join the training. And the course fees is 40,000. For the first time, I'm just introducing the price here in the YouTube channel. So you can, the course fees is 40,000 and this is a complete hands-on training. I'll be assisting you in all the resolving queries and I'll be setting up everything right in front of your screen. So if you're interested, please come and join the training. You can connect with my team on WhatsApp 8466880880, or else you can visit our website as well, like odiaengineer.com. Then you can go to the training section and you can enroll for the training as well. So that's how that's all. And we are starting soon. We'll be starting this Friday. In case you're interested, you can enroll. And if you have any further queries, feel free to reach out. So thanks for watching. Have a great day and take care.